Welcome to Production Value Matters, the business event podcast, brought to you by Burn Production Services. Here, we explore the different ways business events can bring value to your organization, the latest technological advances in the event space, as well as providing you with actionable strategies to make a business event a success. Let's create an exceptional event experience.
Welcome to Production Value Matters, the business events podcast. Joining us today is Nick Borelli, the marketing director of Zenus. Zenus's AI model and behavioral mapping results in more informed event designs, improved presentations, increased metrics for sponsors and exhibitors, and additional ways to gain opt-in leads. Nick is a good friend of mine and has been in this business for more than 2 decades, doing digital marketing and live events, having previously worked for companies like All Seated, Merritt's Global Events, and CSR Color Tone Staging. Nick is also the co-host of the Event Brew podcast, one of the most popular event podcasts in the world and one of my favorites. And he's also heavily involved in PCMA and the Search Foundation. So welcome, Nick.
Yeah, it sounds like I'm busy,
Sure
but happy to be here. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. So just diving straight into it, you're heavily involved with AI in the event space, especially more recently. And so What are your core focuses with that right now?
Yeah, on the macro, my overall mission is just to empower everyone I'm friends with, empower the events industry. And I've heard my entire career that there's so much more we could be doing if we had more time and more resources. And I've seen all these different technology rollouts over the course of 2 decades, and none of them have actually addressed those problems. They've just given us more to do. This one looks like it's one that actually might be the silver bullet in order to sort of take things off our plates and give us more focus on the things we want to do. So that's exciting. But my specific focus ends up being working for Zenus in a marketing capacity, but I do that primarily by engaging the industry. I mean, yes, I do all the sort of meat and potatoes marketing stuff for our company, but really we're focused on education when it comes to data collection in the events industry, as not to be a dirty word, and to be sort of friendly and to show you why there's business cases for additional data to be added to your events. So I engage the industry by doing lots of presentations and speaking and content creation, all that good stuff on that side. And then along that mission and my own, I have had the opportunity to work with a number of associations over the last couple of years. Now I'm working with lots of different groups because AI seems to be pretty hot, but specifically PCMA, because I'm the facilitator for its AI Enhancing Events course, which also has the opportunities for workshops for organizations to be able to have me come in and help them integrate AI into their organizations. Additionally, there's in-person workshops and some other video pieces that we have as part of that. So that's just getting kind of rolled out. And I just want people to, not be scared of tech. That's been the through line of the last, 20 years of me presenting has been, we're in the human business and don't give up that, but tech isn't at odds with that. It could be.
There's a fair point. I imagine you're probably, and we can get into this a little bit later, but fighting a little bit of resistance and hesitation from, either people in this industry who, after 3 years of having to learn new platforms and new ways of doing things because of the pandemic, and now coming into something like AI integrating, are people sort of throwing up their hands and saying, you know what, I just can't learn another tool and I'm going to move away from it.
That's not far off. I mean, I think fundamentally it comes down to this when it comes to the divide between events and tech, because I had a lot of time to think about this, and I've sat at the intersection of these two worlds and try to bridge the gap and try to get people to shake hands. I think tech, it comes from a place of new, now, next. Failure is awesome. Every 1 in every 10 TED Talks seems to be about how great failure is. It's about pivoting. It's about, beta. It's about, if it's good enough, ship it. And events couldn't be more the other way, right? Events are all about perfection and striving for, reliability and consistency, and expectations are very much on hitting a target that is squarely, very small, like a thimble. And the event in the tech world is very much like, oh yeah, today is the worst that we will be, and tomorrow we will be better. Well, for events, the best we are, hopefully, the idea is on the show day. So with that, like those psychological differences of like where they come from breeds a lot of animosity, I think. And over the years, there's that element. And I also think the other element is that events have always lived in this silo of their own, away from sales, away from marketing, sort of this mysticism of like, maybe it's an operating cost, like what is events? Because it certainly doesn't seem like a funnel. We can't draw straight lines to, income or any kind of revenue. We just know, it works somehow, and that's it, right? Not a lot of data points. Whereas sales and marketing in every other fashion has, for the last, since the 2000s, has gone from pitchmen and, creatives with blue hair and that kind of thing to a world of data and numbers and sort of predictability. And events is still in that world of, creativity without any kind of expectations that you can put a fine tune on, right? Like a fine point. It's a lot of binary thinking in events. This was a good event. This was a bad event. This was a good booth. This was a bad